students and friends. We were discussing chapter number 9. It is a biomolecule. In this biomolecule, in the previous sessions, we have discussed regarding the enzymes. We have learned that how the enzyme catalyzes the reaction, what is the mechanism and the nature by which the enzyme acts. We have also discussed the different factors that affect the enzyme activity. And today we have to learn the nomenclature and the classification of an enzyme. So let's start with a nomenclature of an enzyme. Okay, so today we have to learn the nomenclature of enzyme. Nomenclature. Nomenclature means naming. How the enzymes are going to be named. Okay, so today we will discuss this nomenclature of enzyme. So how these enzymes are going to be named? Initially these enzymes were given a name based on the scientist who has discovered it. Okay, and they are giving their names. Like for an example, I will give you example. Pepsin, trypsin, chymotrypsin. So these are the example of the names which are given by the different scientists, and they have discovered it, so that's why they have given such kind of a name. But now what happens? After some time we have discovered lots of enzymes, and the number of enzymes are much higher in numbers. So it is very difficult to know the quantity of an enzyme. Okay, even it is very difficult to know the name of each and every enzyme. So how we can recognize? So there is a thought arise in the mind that we have to give us some kind of a uniform system that gives a few information regarding the enzyme, and we have developed some new way. Like for an example, every enzyme are given a name who has a suffix ase, ase, and its prefix is, like suppose its prefix is the substrate on which it acts. Like this is the name of an enzyme, maltase. So here the maltase, ase indicates that it is an enzyme, and on which it acts, on which substrate it will act. So maltase will act on maltose. It will act on maltose. So similarly, the another kind of a example is like this one. Like for an example, protease. Okay, now you know that this is protease. AAC means it is an enzyme on which it will act. It will act on a protein. So the protease, it will act on a protein. They are responsible for degradation of protein. Similarly, I will give you one more example. Like for an example, lipase. So now here also you can see that it is AAC, means ase, it's an enzyme. It will act on what? Its substrate. Here the substrate is lipid. Okay, so the lipase is responsible for a breakdown of a lipid. So thus here you can get two information. From the name itself you are able to identify that it is an enzyme, and the second thing is that you also know the substrate on which the enzyme acts. Like maltase act on maltose. But here you cannot identify from this name. You cannot identify that they are enzymes. And even you don't know that on which it will act. Okay, so this is an advantage of new system. But now what is lacking in this system? This system even also doesn't tell us regarding the which kind of reaction this enzyme catalyzes. The enzyme catalyzes the different types of reaction, but which kind of the reaction that is catalyzed by the enzyme, that is not given by the naming this system. Okay, so the scientists have adopted a new system. Okay, and this is called as an international classification of an enzymes. This system, what we will discuss now, that is adopted internationally, and it gives the information that which kind of enzymes are, which kind of chemical reactions are catalyzed by a specific enzyme. So let's see the classification of an enzyme. So here we are learning the classification of enzymes. Okay, the enzymes can be classified majorly into 6 groups. Which are the 6 groups? O, T, H, L, I, L. These are the 6 groups. O, T, H, L, I, L. Oath lil. What is a O? O means oxido reductase. Okay, what is O? It is oxidoreductase. T means what? Transferase. H means what? Hydrolase. Okay, L means what? It is lyase. I means what? I means isomerase. And the last L, this is called as ligase. Okay, so these are the 6 names: oxidoreductase, transferase, hydrolase, lyase, isomerase, ligase. In every case you can see that it is ase, means it indicates that it is an enzyme, and the previous or its prefix indicates that what kind of the reaction that it catalyzes, that we will see in detail. Okay, but one thing you have to remember, that this should be remembered in a sequence, because here a specific numbering system has been given, okay, at internationally. Though you don't have to learn, but I suggest you are learning or you remember this sequence, okay, because the sequence is necessary. Even you know that there are 2 L, one is lyase and the second one is ligase. Even the fourth one you cannot say a ligase, it is always a lyase, and the sixth one is it's a ligase, always. So do not change the sequence, remember it in a sequence, because the enzymes are usually named like this one, 1.2.1.3, that indicates the enzyme. 1 means that is a oxidoreductase, 2 means it's a second subtype, again 1 means it is a subtype of 2, Robert, and the 3 is the name of an enzyme. So such kind of system exists, so that's why do not give it, or remember it in a sequence: oxidoreductase, transferase, hydrolase, lyase, isomerase, and the ligase. Clear? Let's discuss each one in detail. Okay, and this will give you information what kind of the reaction it can catalyze. So let's start with the first one, oxidoreductase. Okay, here the oxidoreductase, they are responsible for performing oxidation and reduction reaction. So that's why they are called as oxidoreductase. What they are called as? Oxidoreductase. Now you know the meaning of oxidation. Oxidation means, you might have studied in chemistry. What is an oxidation? Oxidation, that means addition of oxygen, or you can also call it as removal of hydrogen. This is called as oxidation. And now what is a reduction? The reduction is its opposite. Reduction is its opposite. What is a reduction? The reduction means it is addition of hydrogen or removal of oxygen. Okay, so this is called as a reduction. So these enzymes are capable of doing oxidation and reduction type of reaction. That's why we are calling it as oxidoreductase. Like I will give you example of an enzyme which comes under this category, oxidoreductase. So which is the example? The example is cytochrome oxidase. So what it do? It add oxygen. So this is called as oxidase. This is the name of an enzyme. Okay, this is an example. Or I can also give you another example. Succinate dehydrogenase. Okay, dehydro means it remove a hydrogen. Okay, so that's why we are calling it as dehydrogenase. So these two enzymes, these are the names of enzyme: cytochrome oxidase and succinate dehydrogenase. It comes under which category? Oxidoreductase category. Clear? So this is the first category of an enzyme. This is called as oxidoreductase. Clear? They involved in oxidation and reduction. That means addition of oxygen and removal of hydrogen is called as oxidation, and reduction is addition of hydrogen or removal of oxygen. Okay? So this is oxidation and reduction or oxidoreductase enzyme. Okay? Now we go ahead with the second category of an enzyme. The second category of an enzyme is transferase. Okay, so the second category is transferase. Now the name itself suggests what is a transferase. Here they are responsible for transfer of functional group from one to another one. So this is called as a transferase. Okay, like for an example, suppose see that this is CX. Okay, clear? And now this is a one more moiety, that is you can say that the A. This is just for an example. Okay, so here the X is with a C, but with the help of a transferase enzyme, this is transferred to a. Clear? So here the X is transferred from C to A. So they do a such kind of a reactions. This is called as transferase. Okay, I will give you a real life example. So see, this is a glucose plus ATP. Okay, you know the full form of ATP. ATP means adenosine triphosphate. Okay, it has 3 molecules of phosphorus, so that's why we are calling it as adenosine triphosphate. Okay, this is the source of energy. What happens? Now you know that this ATP has how many phosphorus? 3. From these 3 phosphorus, 1 phosphorus is transferred to a glucose. Okay, so here it becomes glucose. Okay, now you know that in glucose how many carbon? You know the example of glucose. Glucose is a hexose carbon. So it contains how many carbon? 6. So here the phosphorus is transferred from ATP, but it is transferred to which carbon? 6th number of carbon. So we are calling it as glucose 6-phosphate. Okay, this is a short form I am writing. Plus what it forms? It forms ADP. Okay, 3-phosphate. Instead of that, 1 phosphorus is donated to glucose, so the glucose becomes a glucose 6-phosphate, and the ATP becomes a ADP, adenosine diphosphate. Now it has just 2 phosphorus. So here the phosphorus is transferred from ATP to a glucose, and such kind of a reaction are catalyzed by transferase. I will give you an example. Which one? It's the name of this who will catalyze this is hexokinase. Which one? It's a hexokinase. Okay, this is a name of enzyme which will catalyze this reaction. What we call it as transferase. Clear? So I hope so it is clear. Okay, this is called as transferase. Now third is called as a hydrolase. Okay, it is an enzyme. So the third category is hydrolase. Okay, hydrolase means what they do? They break down the compound with the presence of water molecule. They break the molecule with the presence of in the presence of water. This category of enzymes are called as hydrolase. Like for an example, I will give you an easy example. You know that maltose. Okay, maltose plus water. This is a water because here the breakdown takes place in presence of water. Maltose plus water in the presence of enzyme called as maltase. This is an enzyme which will catalyze. So the here maltose molecule gets broken now, and you know that what is a maltose? Maltose is a disaccharide. It contains 2 units of monosaccharide. So it breaks and it forms glucose plus glucose. Okay, so here you can see that this is a maltose. Maltase. So maltase is which category of enzyme? Hydrolase. It is responsible for breakdown in the presence of water. So if the breakdown occurs in presence of water, such category of enzymes are called as hydrolase. Clear? So we have discussed these 3. Oxidoreductase, they are responsible for oxidation reduction. Transferase, it is responsible for transfer of molecule. Hydrolase, it is responsible for breakdown of molecule in presence of water. And these are the respective examples. Okay, so we have finished with first 3: oxidoreductase, transferase and hydrolase. Now let us discuss the other 3. Okay, so I just rub it down and we move ahead. So the fourth category of an enzyme or the fourth class according to international classification is it's a lyase. So let's start with the fourth one, lyase. The lyase, they are responsible for a breakdown, but here the breakdown occurs in absence of water or without a water. So they are responsible for a breakdown of compound or chemicals. But here without the water the breakdown takes place. Okay, so this is comes under the category called as lyase. If the breakdown occurs in presence of water, then it's called as hydrolysis. Okay, let's see one example. That's a glucose 1,6-biphosphate. Okay, now you know that how many carbon it has. Glucose 1,6-biphosphate has 6 carbon. How many carbons are present? 6 carbon. Now this molecule, it got broken down with the help of an enzyme called as aldolase. It gets broken down, and after breaking, what is going to be formed? It forms a 2 compound. The first one that is going to be formed is PGAL, and the second one is called as DHAP. These 2 compounds are going to be formed. Each one is having a 3 carbon. So here the 6 carbon compound, this is a name, glucose 1,6-biphosphate. It breaks into 2 compounds, each containing 3 carbon with the help of an enzyme called as aldolase. Okay, clear? So the aldolase, they are comes under the category called as lyase because it is responsible for a breakdown without a water. Okay, so this is a lyase, a 4th category. Next, 5th category, it's called as an isomerase. Fifth category is called as isomerase. What is the isomerase? The isomerase is responsible for converting one isomer to another isomer. Okay, isomer means those who have a same chemical formula, but the molecular formula is different or the structural formula is different. This is called as isomers. Like I will tell you example. Say glucose 6-phosphate that converts to a fructose 6-phosphate with the help of enzyme called as isomerase. I am giving you the name, which enzyme it is. Fructose isomerase. If you write down the full name, that is a fructose 6-phosphate isomerase. So here the glucose 6-phosphate converts to a fructose 6-phosphate. Glucose and the fructose, they are the isomers. Means if you see the formula of glucose, glucose has a formula C6H12O6. Similarly, if you see the formula of fructose, it has the also same formula C6H12O6. But if you see the structure of both glucose and fructose, then they are different. And such kind of compounds are called as isomers. Okay, you will learn the isomers in detail in chemistry, but this is a very easy understanding. Isomers have a same chemical formula, but the molecular formula, or you can say that the structural formula is different. So here the glucose 6-phosphate converts to its isomer fructose 6-phosphate with the help of enzyme fructose 6-phosphate isomerase. So this category of enzyme are called as isomerase. Now the next category of enzyme. Now we are moving ahead with the next category of enzyme, and it is last category. This is called as ligase. This is the last category. The ligase, this kind of enzymes can it can also be called as synthetase. Synthetase, because they are responsible for synthesis, or they are responsible for joining 2 molecules. Here the hydrolase and lyase, they are responsible for breaking. Hydrolase, they breaks in presence of water. Lyase, it breaks in absence of water. But ligase, it will do its opposite. It joins 2 molecules. And such category of enzymes are called as ligase or synthetase. Like I will tell you with an example. Okay, their function is to join 2 molecules. Okay, so let's see one example. Acetic acid plus coenzyme A, this is a coenzyme A, official short form, plus ATP. Because when we are joining, it needs energy. So here the ATP provides energy. Okay, clear? Because without energy, the bond formation cannot take place. Okay, and when the bond break, the energy released or energy gets liberated. But here we are joining, and to join it needs energy, so I have added the ATP. Acetic acid plus coenzyme A plus ATP. So what it gives? It gives acetyl coenzyme A. Here these two moieties have been joined to form acetyl coenzyme A. So here two molecules are joined with an enzyme. I will write down the name of an enzyme by which they are joined. So here the enzyme is acetyl coenzyme A synthetase. So this is acetyl coenzyme A synthetase. It comes under which category? It comes under a category called as ligase or synthetase category. Okay, so these are the other three categories or other three classes: lyase, isomerase, ligase. In a lyase, it is responsible for breakdown of a compound in absence of water, like for an example aldolase. In isomerase, they are responsible for converting one isoform into another isoform. So here the glucose 6-phosphate converts to a fructose 6-phosphate with the help of enzyme called as fructose 6-phosphate isomerase. So this is an enzyme of category called as isomerase, fructose 6-phosphate isomerase. Ligase, they are responsible for joining the two molecules, which can also be called as synthetase. So here the acetyl coenzyme A synthetase, they are responsible for joining this acetic acid and coenzyme A to form acetyl coenzyme A. So this category of enzyme, acetyl coenzyme A synthetase, it is of category called as ligase. So that's all about the classification of an enzyme. 6 classes: oxidoreductase, do oxidation reduction; transferase, perform the transfers; hydrolase, breakdown in presence of water; lyase, breakdown without the water; isomerase, one isoform converts to another isoform; and the ligase, they joins. So that's all about it. So today we have learned the nomenclature and the classification. This is an international classification of an enzyme. Okay, this is valid all over the world. Okay, so that's all about it regarding the nomenclature and classification of enzyme. Students, learning properly, keep learning, keep watching, like and subscribe this channel. Thank you for watching.